Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. And I'm Fred Jones.
And I'm Daphne Blake. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you on, Daphne. So, listen, I want you to picture this. Next month, down in Austin, Tesla is mass producing this brand new vehicle.
Right.
But if you were to, open the door and look inside, you're just staring at an empty cabin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's no steering wheel, there are literally no pedals, and on the outside of the car, there isn't even a charging plug.
It's just such a jarring image, but, it's real. This is the Cybercab.
Yeah.
And we are really looking at what might be the single biggest make-or-break gamble in modern corporate history.
For sure.
Because Tesla isn't just releasing some niche autonomous vehicle here. They're actively attempting to abandon their entire identity as a traditional automaker, right? To become this foundational AI and robotics platform.
And to really understand the sheer scale of that pivot, we kind of have to look at the hardware itself.
Yeah, let's look at it.
So the Cybercab, it's designed as a sub-$30,000 two-seater vehicle. And because there's no plug, as I mentioned, it relies entirely on wireless induction charging.
Right.
Now, anyone who follows hardware knows the physics of wireless charging, right?
Right.
There is this inherent thermal and efficiency loss when you try to transmit kilowatts of power across an open-air gap compared to just using a direct copper connection.
Exactly.
So they are literally trading battery charging efficiency for the ability to operate with absolutely zero human intervention.
Which honestly tells you everything you need to know about the goal here.
Yeah.
It's a pure infrastructure play. It operates exclusively on Tesla's full self-driving software. But unlike traditional robotaxi models, like Waymo, for instance.
Right, where they own the fleets.
Exactly. Waymo owns and maintains its own centralized corporate fleet. But Tesla's vision is aimed directly at everyday consumers. They want you, the listener, to actually buy this vehicle.
Yeah, they're pitching the ultimate Airbnb on wheels.
Airbnb on wheels, yeah.
Think about it. The pitch is that you purchase this $30,000 asset, right? It drives you to the office. And then, instead of just sitting there depreciating in a parking garage all day, it spends the next 8 hours acting as a self-driving taxi.
Right.
It's out in the city, picking up fares, depositing revenue directly into your bank account. So it essentially transforms the car from a massive financial liability into a yield-generating asset.
I mean, that is the Silicon Valley utopian pitch.
Yeah, on paper, it sounds great.
It sounds amazing on paper, but let's ground this in reality for a second.
Okay.
Because the actual execution of that idea is a logistical nightmare.
Oh, for sure.
If you send your personal vehicle out to act as public transit, who is paying the commercial insurance premium?
Right. That's a huge toast check.
And, when a passenger spills a coffee or tracks mud into the cabin, or worse.
Oh, man.
Right, like at 2 in the morning on a Saturday, does the car have the sensor capability to realize, hey, I'm soiled, and automatically route itself to a robotic detailing center?
Probably not right away.
Exactly. The wear and tear math on a highly utilized shared vehicle just completely destroys the standard depreciation curve.
Yeah.
Are consumers actually ready to treat their personal vehicles as public infrastructure?
You are absolutely right to challenge the physical realities there. The liability issues alone are just staggering.
Yeah.
But honestly, the fact that they're pushing forward with a car that has no steering wheel, despite all those massive logistical hurdles, it points to a much deeper truth.
Which is?
You don't take a gamble this extreme unless your back is against the wall in your core business.
Oh, absolutely.
We have to look at the financial reality that's forcing this pivot right now. The traditional electric vehicle market is shrinking, and it is shrinking fast.
The numbers are brutal, Fred. I mean, Tesla's auto sales fell by 10% last year.
10%.
Yeah, which is their first ever unit shrinkage. And Wall Street is now anticipating a third consecutive year of declining sales by 2026.
Wow.
If you look at the growth projections, analysts slashed them from 8.2% down to just 3.8%.
That's a massive drop.
It is. And the revenue targets for 2026. They were originally aiming for $138 billion. That has been dudded down to $72 billion.
Jeez. And, we need to unpack exactly why that contraction is happening, because it's a perfect storm of systemic headwinds, not just some temporary dip.
Right.
First, you've got the structural loss of U.S. EV tax credits.
Huge factor.
Second, Tesla used to basically print free money by selling carbon credits to legacy automakers who couldn't meet emission standards.
Yep.
Well, those legacy automakers are building their own EVs now, so that zero-margin revenue stream is just drying up.
Exactly.
Add in the tough competition from the EU and obviously Chinese manufacturers, And the traditional hardware business just starts to look like a race to the bottom.
Which explains the brutal cuts they are making to fund this new AI direction.
Yeah.
To afford this pivot, Tesla is officially discontinuing the Model S and the Model X mid-year.
Wait, really? The flagship cars?
Yes. They are killing their legacy flagships. And this isn't just a symbolic move. By dropping those highly complex assembly lines, they free up the physical factory footprint and the capital to focus completely on cybercabs and the Optimus humanoid robots.
I mean, it's just an insanely aggressive reallocation of resources. Let's look at the sheer cash burn this requires.
Okay.
Tesla started 2025 with $44 billion in cash, but they are planning to double their capital expenditures to over $20 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, so after 7 straight years of positive free cash flow, they are actively choosing to spend more than they make. They're bleeding cash.
Right.
And that $20 billion isn't going into nicer leather seats. It's going into massive GPU clusters, data centers, supercomputers, everything required to train these AI networks. So I guess the question is this a visionary investment or a panicked pivot to stop the bleeding?
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
So, right before the break, we were talking about Tesla's massive financial gamble. But having a bold vision and the money to back it up means absolutely nothing if the execution fails.
Right.
There are 3 massive hurdles standing in the Cybercab's way: the tech, the law, and human psychology.
Let's start with the tech. Because achieving true level 5 autonomy, where the car can drive anywhere with zero human input, that remains incredibly difficult.
Oh, it's one of the hardest engineering problems in the world.
Exactly. Right now, Tesla's FSD has about 1.1 million users, which sounds like a lot, but that's only 12.4% of Tesla owners. They need massive scaling.
And scaling that requires an astronomical amount of compute.
Right.
They are trying to train these neural networks using real-world video data, so the bottleneck isn't even the software ideas anymore, it's just raw compute power.
Yeah. But let's say they do figure out the tech, they immediately hit a brick wall with the second roadblock, which is U.S. safety regulations.
Right. The law.
Our legal framework is fundamentally written for cars with manual controls. Getting approval for a mass-produced car with literally no steering wheel is totally unprecedented.
I mean, think about the crash testing alone.
Exactly.
How do you certify a front crash structure when there is no steering column to measure the impact against?
Right. It's a bureaucratic nightmare. But honestly, the tech and the law might be easier to solve than the third roadblock.
Psychology.
Human psychology, yeah.
Right.
We are asking people to completely relinquish their physical safety to a black box algorithm. Imagine someone with claustrophobia getting into a sealed, moving metal box with no driver and no manual override.
It's a recipe for severe panic.
Total panic.
It completely mirrors the early days of automatic elevators, you know?
Oh, that's a great comparison.
Yeah, 100 years ago, people were terrified to ride in an elevator without a human operator standing there physically pulling the levers. It took years of engineering, adding the big red emergency stop button, the emergency telephone, to trick the human brain into feeling safe. The Cybercab is going to need the modern equivalent of that. Manufacturers will likely need to add emergency stop controls just to build passenger confidence.
I totally agree. But I want to push our listeners to think about their own comfort level here. Like, would you actually strap yourself into a metal box doing 70 miles per hour on the highway with literally no way to steer or brake if the software glitches?
It's a terrifying thought for a lot of people.
Well, it really is. But if Tesla somehow clears all these hurdles, the tech, the law, the psychology, what does the company actually become?
Right.
Because there are rampant market rumors right now about Tesla eventually merging with SpaceX and xAI.
Yes, the Nokia scenario.
Exactly.
Observers point out that, Nokia didn't die when they lost the smartphone war. They just exited the mobile phone business entirely to thrive as a telecom infrastructure company.
They played a different game.
Exactly. If Musk successfully pulls Tesla out of the unprofitable traditional EV business and dominates autonomous AI, Tesla could completely exit the automotive business as we know it.
Wow.
They could approach an NVIDIA-level valuation.
It's just wild to think that the world's most famous car company might not even consider itself a car company in a few years.
So you really have to wonder, should legacy automakers be breathing a sigh of relief that Tesla is leaving the traditional EV race? Or should they be completely terrified that Tesla is inventing a totally new race that they can't even compete in?
I think they should be terrified. And that brings us to one last thing for you to chew on today.
Okay.
If cars actually transition entirely from these things that we actively drive to just income-generating autonomous infrastructure that we own.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to buy us a coffee and hire us to coach and train your employees for AI. We'll see you next time.